The birds and the bees and the mountains and the trees. Hey, is that a bird or your dick? Sticking ever between your knees. That's birth control.
What is happening?
The talk about the birds and the bees.
First of all, I don't know what the story of the birds and the bees is.
I know. I do wonder how much
No
it varies.
idea. I think the birds and the bees, they're fucking. I just don't know the science behind it.
Right.
Why it has to be these two animals.
Right.
How did you find out about the do nasty?
It was actually my parents.
Really?
Yeah. They sat me down with a book.
No.
With a book.
If I remember correctly, it showed like animals do this and it's totally normal and natural. And mom and dad do it too.
And so my dad was like, all right, boys, get over here. Sit over here.
So your dad did it?
Yeah, my dad did it. So he had the book and he goes, do you want me to read it out loud? And I thought he said, do you want to read it? And I was like, yeah, we'll just read it. Because right when I saw the cover, like me and my brother both knew.
You're like, we know this.
Listen, America Online was the thing. I was already looking at smut. I knew what it was. And then he just starts reading it. And I was like, my brother looks at me like, you piece of shit. Now our dad's reading us about sex.
By the end of the conversation, the only question I had was, so do I pee in her?
Mine was interesting. I'm the youngest there's 3 girls. So my dad lays out 3 white roses. 2 of them are perfect. 1 of them is not. It's been like touched and handed around and like petals, whatever. And he asked us all to pick one, right? So obviously nobody wants that one. And of course I get it because I'm the youngest. And the metaphor was like nobody wants something that's been touched and handed around by everybody. So lock it up. But I still wanted to have fun in college, so I kind of like that.
I was like, so then it was a huge slut.
Yeah.
Just define slut.
I never had the talk with them, I think because they just 100% knew I was not having sex. I think they just knew.
That's so cruel.
My conversation involved my dad, who was a cop, sitting me down because the girl that I was taking out was the daughter of a different cop. And he goes, okay, look, if you get this girl pregnant, your life ends.
Wow.
That's the best birth control I've ever heard.
How about when
I
your
hate
dad
when that
finds your
happens.
handwritten diary describing?
That happened to me once.
Yeah, me too. Turns out that you shouldn't write that in detail and then like leave it on your bed. We were listening to Bourbons and Cadillacs by Master P. You know?
In a yellow
Dude,
Mustang.
that shit was legit.
I was doing the dishes after dinner and he comes up and he's like, Nikki, are you sexually active? That's it, verbatim. And I'm just looking at the dishes, scrubbing them. No, Dad. Okay. And that's it.
That was
Nothing
the only
else.
mention.
Nothing else, ever.
I don't think I ever had the talk with my parents at all. I call my mom and be like, Mom, where do babies come from? I don't get it.
Like all my friends know and you never told me.
He just keeps peeing in me. That's not how it's supposed to go, right?
I tried to talk to my parents as little as possible. So I learned at school.
It was given up to the Catholic school to tell me how
Oh,
to
yeah.
how to
Sex
do
ed
that,
was more in school.
which was all about
Yeah, that's-
abstinence. So I just like awkwardly fell into it. One
Literally.
time. Yeah.
Did you have like the health class in like freshman year of high school where
Yeah.
they just went through all the STDs?
Just
Like that was the best one. Here's a dick with herpes. See that? You have sex on prom, you're gonna get that. The bad kids are smoking dope like, whatever, no, you don't. No, you don't get it.
I do remember this person came in and they made us sign a paper that was like, I won't have sex until marriage. This is public school too.
You're contractually obligated to abstinence.
That's the thing, I realized, I was like, that's somewhere. It's just boxes full of little kids, like abstinence.
Abstinence forms.
There's like the old man wheeling it in. It's like,
God.
that's somewhere. And on my wedding day, he's gonna burst in and just like, I object.
I learned by the kid that brings in like the porno magazine. He's like, hey, check this out.
Oh, cool.
And then, you know.
You were friends with that kid?
Yeah.
Were
You were
you
that
that
kid in
kid?
school.
I saw crazy porn with my brother and his friends.
What?
It's called Tales from the Backside. So it was all butt sex. I learned that my first introduction to seeing what a penis looked like was in graphic
Oh my God.
Yeah, you never forget that slapping sound. I got it down to perfection, really.
All right.
The cupping.
That was it. I knew how it worked then. The slapping sound.
What about the
Yeah.
whole stork thing? Because I feel like I bought that until I didn't. But fun fact,
You think Santa was dropped by a stork?
Stork is the Vlasic pickle.
Yes.
Yeah, pickle, penis, it's a metaphor.